Shalom, shalom, shalom. Brother Jose coming at you again with another video, giving all glory and honor to Yahweh by Shama Shah, Yahweh, who the word uses God, Yahweh Shah, who the word uses Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. Once again, giving all glory and honor to Yahweh by Shema Mashak Shah. Shabbat Shalom to the 12 that's scattered abroad. Coming at you again with another video. But before we get into it, we're going to give all glory and honor to the Most High. Once again, Yahweh by Shem Shah. Peace and blessings to the 12 tribes scattered abroad across the four corners of the earth. In these last days, peace and blessings to the elders. All glory and honor to the Most High for them, especially those who we learn from. Peace and blessings to the brothers that's risking their lives on the highways and byways, doing all they can to magnify it and the reverence and lift up the name Yahweh by Shem Shah. Peace and blessings to all the, the brothers and the young ones, that stand steadfast in His word day in and day out. In these last days, peace and blessings to those that are not on the highways and hedges, but they praying, reading, fasting, doing all they can to make their call and election sure. Peace and blessings to y'all and to the Salaki to the sisters that's reverencing their husbands. Peace and blessings to you as well. Most High bless you in your household. All glory and honor to the Most High. Shabbat Shalom. We're going to get into it. I believe I titled this The Daily Battle with Temptation, Lust, and Evil Concupiscence. And these are things that we got to go into because we struggle with so much. And this is one of the top things that Israel struggle with, man. You can't deny it. You can't put it off and say I don't struggle with that. You would be a liar. You'd be found a liar. But before we get into that, I want to get this quick precept right quick. This is Salaki. Yeah, man, we gotta get into this thing because it's a lot that's going on in these last days. It's a lot of distractions, a lot of this is like I'm trying to get this right. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 16, and I'm gonna start at verse 15. This book of 1 Corinthians chapter 16, starting at verse 15. I beseech you, brethren, ye know the house of Stephanus, that it is the first fruits of Achaia, and that they have addicted themselves to the ministry of the saints. So hey, we gotta addict ourselves to the ministry, man. You are you really doing this for the Most High? Because a lot of people they want their crown. They want their glorification amongst man, but really, everybody has been called for a certain purpose and a certain reason and a position, purpose, and a lot. Whatever it is, you got to serve that, and you either addicting yourself to this truth or you addicting yourself to the world. So you got to ask yourself what you really giving yourself and your time to in these last days. And when somebody's addicted, they're they don't care what's the odds, what's on the other side. You got these fiends, these dope fiends, these pimps and these people that sex traffic these women and some men too. And you even got people that's rich, they're addicted to get more money, man. These pimps that pimp these women out, they're addicted to these women bringing them back money. And people that's rich, they're addicted to get more money. So you either addicted to righteousness or you either addicted to wickedness, man. It's no in between, it's no halfway, it's no half stepping. It's either you addicted to the righteousness or you addicted to the wickedness. So you really got to ask yourself what's going on in these last days. Not to jump the gun, we're gonna get straight into it. This mainly, I've been putting this off for a long time. I've been wanting to do this for a minute. because it's one of the biggest sins in Israel, man. Lust, you know, and we all get tempted. You know, you can get tempted with um, you know, uh anything, man. Finances, you can get tempted with money, you can get tempted with, watching too much TV. And really temptation goes back into, I believe I wrote it's a Greek word. It goes back to G3986. I might be saying it wrong, but it's like it perosmos. It's a Greek word. You can look at that on your own time. And really, it means trial or proven. The Most High really putting you on trial. He really proving you. But I might have to do a part two on this. I'm not really sure. It's just gonna flow through the spirit. So I'm gonna just go ahead and get straight into it. I'm gonna get matter of fact, let me get I'm gonna drop that first. I'm gonna get First Thessalonians chapter 1. Hey, if you haven't read the book of First Thessalonians, man, I advise you to do so. This is one of the mightiest books. I might kind of have to switch something up. I think this might be one of my favorite books now. It's the book of First Thessalonians. I'm gonna start at chapter 1. I'm gonna start at verse 3. First Thessalonians chapter 1, starting at verse 3. Remembering without ceasing your work of faith and labor of love and patience of hope in our Yahweh Shah Hamashiach, in the sight of God and our Father. So you got to remember. And a lot of people, man, they don't have anything to remember because they not really striving for anything. When you was in the world, you were striving to either get a degree, you were striving to get some type of worldly pinnacle, or reach a worldly pinnacle, or some type of worldly reward. you know but what are you striving for in this truth? You got to ask yourself that. If you're not pushing yourself to the forefront, what are you really striving for? Because when you was in a world, when you was in darkness, before the Most High brought you into the marvelous light, what was you really striving for? When you was in the world, you was striving to, you know, uh, be at the forefront of, if you was in school, your studies, or if you was playing sports, trying to be the best. You even had brothers and sisters that played sports. They was in the gym 24/7. You could barely catch them in the street, or outside or anywhere else. They was striving for, the highest of the highest. Going to college, trying to become a professional athlete, or trying to become a doctor, whatever your studies was when you was in the world, when you was in carnal things. But when you in this truth now, you really got to push yourself. And like I went into First Corinthians chapter 16, you gotta be addicted to righteousness, because it's no in between. It's not stopping. Even when I get off this live right now, I can't just say, okay, all right, I did my duties for the day. I kind of gotta hang it up. No, I gotta keep going, because it's really no end, unless the Most High literally comes with his chariots in the clouds. It's no stopping after this. It's either you gonna make up in your mind, you gonna dig, keep digging until the end, or you just gonna take the shovel and just toss it because you're tired. Pain and suffering that comes along with it. You was in pain and suffering when you was in the world. When you was in worldly relationships, you was crying, you was weeping. A woman was saying, "I don't need that nigga," and a man was saying, "I don't need that woman." Hey, you was weeping and moaning and crying and suffering when you was in the world. Yeah, it ain't no different when you come to the knowledge and understanding and the faith and the endurance of Yahweh Shem Rashah. It's more to that. So I'm gonna read this again. First Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 3. Remembering without ceasing, and without ceasing, that's really without intermission. There's no stop. There's no stopping. You can't stop serving the Lord. You can't stop loving the Lord within your trials, within your temptations, within your burdens, within your griefs, your sorrows. You can't have any intermission when you're serving the Lord. You know, are you serving the Lord to proclaim good things? Because you got a lot of people like that. and you're trying to bring Christianity into the truth, and that's where you fall short, and that's where you fail to realize that this is not a religion. You're not supposed to serve the Lord for goods, for riches, for glory. I'm not even supposed to be doing this live to receive glorification of men. I'm literally only supposed to do this to reverence and magnify the name of Yahweh Shem Shah. There's no reward in serving the Lord. You was called to be righteous or to be wicked, and your lot, whatever was given, the elect or you're not the elect, So it's no reason that you should be looking for a reward, I did well to my brother, surely the Lord is going to see this and he's going to reward me. Or a woman, I did well to my sister, I'm keeping the law, statutes, commandment. By default, you're supposed to keep the law, statutes, commandments, because that's your heritage. That's what was given to you. That's what was given to our forefathers, and they fail, to really do that. Let me get this quick preset right quick. This is let me see what I want right quick. This is First Samuel chapter 2, I believe is verse 35. Let me see. First Samuel chapter 2 is at 35. This is the book of First Samuel chapter 2, starting at verse 34. Yeah, man, this whole thing crazy. I would go up a little bit more, but I'm gonna stay on topic. Verse 34, First Samuel chapter 2, verse 34. And this shall be a sign unto thee that shall come upon thy two sons of Hophni and Phinehas, and one day they shall die, both of them. Verse 35. And I will raise me up a faithful priest that shall do according to that which is in my heart and in my mind, and I will build him a sure house, and he shall walk before my anointed forever. You see that? So the Most High is raising up faithful priests, man. You literally got brothers and sisters that are out here. Literally, it's in their spirit to strive to be faithful to the Most High. Everybody's not wicked. Of course we fall short of the Most High glory, but you actually have some people, some Jakes and Eves, some so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native American Israelites who are striving to remain faithful. They fall short. They're like, man, dang. Hey, they literally want to put themselves to death. You literally have men like that. Let me get another precept. This is Psalms chapter 78. Yeah, you literally got people that literally want to be faithful to the Most High. Hey, when you was in the world, you was so-called faithful to your woman or your man. You claimed yourself as loyal. You say, yeah, I'm loyal. He ain't never gonna find nobody like me. She ain't never gonna find nobody like me. Hey, but what about that same energy towards the Most High? Ain't nobody gonna keep these laws, statutes, commandments like me. Hey, that's how we got to be walking. This is Psalm 78. I'm gonna start at verse. I'm gonna start at verse 56. Yet they tempted and provoked the Most High God and kept not his testimonies, but turned back and dealt unfaithfully like their fathers. They were turned aside like a deceitful bow. Verse 58. For they provoked him to anger with their high places and moved him to jealousy with their graven images. You see that? Our forefathers was off, man. Was unfaithful. When you was in the world, you was claiming you was faithful, to that man or that woman, worldly things, trying to have that, that label as, I'm the best she ever had. I'm the best he ever had, But Salaki, I want to get another precept. This is what King David said. And we got to strive to continue to go in, and walk like our forefathers, man. Your idol is not Chris Brown or Megan Thee Stallion. You need to try to walk after your forefathers, man, the prophets. This is Psalms chapter 6, and I'm gonna start at verse 3. My soul is also so vexed, but thou, O Yahweh, how long? Return, O Yahweh, deliver my soul, O save me for thy mercy's sake. And you got to be asking the Most High to save you, not when you get jammed up, not when you on your last dollar, or you on 30 miles to eat, or when your job about to fire you. You got to ask the Most High for grace and mercy every day. Don't cease. Don't forget about the Most High when you feel like you're doing good, when you high and mighty. You got to ask for this every day. Verse 5, for in death there is no remembrance of thee. In the grave, who shall give thee thanks? You see that? Hey, King David was talking that talk, man. He was like, hey, if I die, who gonna lift you up? Who gonna reverence you? Who gonna magnify your name? Hey, that's kind of how Jay and Eve used to talk when they was in the world. Hey, you lose me, you ain't got nothing. Ain't nobody gonna treat you like me. That's how we gotta move in the truth. Or else you gonna be moving like a Christian, a wicked Christian. Talking about, you don't remember them tithes I paid 2 years ago? I'm the one that pay these tithes. I'm the reason why this church still up, the lights on. I'm at the food drive every week. Hey, that's what they do in the wicked Christian church. So I'm gonna read this again. Psalms chapter 6, verse 6. I am weary with my groaning all the night. Make I my bed to swim. Salaki. That's Salaki. I'm gonna go up. Psalm chapter 6, verse 5. For in death there is no remembrance of thee, and the grave who shall give thee thanks. Verse 6. I am weary with my groaning all the night. Make I my bed to swim. I water my couch with my tears. Hey, so he was very, very what's the word I want to use? He was really into what he was saying, man. Sometimes Jake say I'm sorry, they not really sorry, or please forgive me. They not really, really deep, into that, man. They just saying that just to be saying it. But King David had a contrite heart, man. And that's how we gotta be moving, man. That's exactly how we gotta be moving. So let's get into it. I got a lot of precepts that I want to get into. I don't even know where I want to start at, because it's so, this is a heavy topic. I'm gonna get this right quick. This is First Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 5. For our gospel came not unto you in word only, but also in power and in the Holy Spirit, and in much assurance, as ye know what manner of man we were among you for your sake. So, hey, this word, this is heavy, man. This word is powerful. It's very spiritual. You know, and when you get into these scriptures, it really can do something to you, man. If you really believe, if you got faith, because not everybody got faith. Let me get that precept right quick. I'm not trying to jump all over the place, but everybody don't got faith, man. Some people just pick this Bible up just, to have a reason to say, yeah, I read the Bible today. I read 7 chapters, I'm mighty, I kind of didn't want to read, but I had to force myself to read. I kind of feel like, I could have read more. And you ain't got to tell nobody that, man. You ain't got to tell nobody that. That's just madness. Now you sounding like a Pharisee and a Sadducee, Let me get this precept right quick. This is Deuteronomy chapter 32. I'm gonna start at verse 20. Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 20. And he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end shall be, for they are a very forward generation, children in whom is no faith. You see that? Don't nobody got faith in these last days, man. You barely making it through your marriage. You only been married 6 months. Y'all been together 6 months. Y'all ain't got no faith. Y'all trying to find a reason to call it quits. The brother talking about, man, can I give her a bill of divorce? You got Jake giving a bill of divorce for everything now. You ain't got no faith, brother. And Eve, she just want to do what she want to do. She ain't got no faith. Don't nobody got faith in these last days, man. You don't got faith that the Lord can move that demon You don't got faith that the Lord can take your wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and have you proselytizing people into this truth, bringing more souls in this truth. If brothers and sisters have faith, you will have more brothers on the corners Fridays and Saturdays. I'm led to believe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays and Sundays, calling out of work, telling the boss man you can't make it, and not even lying about it. Literally tell, hey, I can't make it. I got to do this work for the Lord. If we have more faith, you will have more Israelite marriages than anything you ever seen. You hardly would see a woman out there single, and if she was, she would be out there giving her time and her body to the Most High. If we have faith, you probably wouldn't even watch TV, man. You be in the scriptures all day. If you have faith, hey, you probably wouldn't even have to plan your week out. Soon as Sunday hit, hey, I know what we're gonna eat on the Sabbath. We're gonna eat this. I'm gonna have it right here. I'm gonna have it right here. Hey, you don't got faith, man. Don't nobody got faith anymore. The only reason why that demon keep killing you and jamming you up because you ain't got faith. The only reason why you still watching pornography because you ain't got faith. The only reason why you still masturbating because you ain't got faith. And we're gonna get into it. Hey, I might have to do a part two. It's gonna get real explicit, because there ain't no feelings when it comes to the Most High, And if you marry and still watching pornography and masturbate, the only reason why you're doing it because you ain't got no faith. It's just as simple as that. You hope, for things that you don't see. That's what faith is. Hebrews the 11th chapter. It's just that's just how it is. The only reason why you still smoking weed because you don't believe, you don't have faith. You have a lack of faith. Let me get this right quick. And yeah, man, you don't have no faith, Matthew, right quick. This is Matthew chapter and you can't deceive yourself. This is Matthew chapter 8. I'm gonna start at verse 10. Matthew chapter 8, starting at verse 10. When Yahushua heard it, he marveled and said to them that followed, verily, surely, this is what he said to them that followed. Surely, meaning verily, I say unto you, I have not found so great faith. No, not in Israel. Hey, so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native American, man, especially the Jews, they require a sign, man. You get a little check, you get a little money in your bank account, you kind of cooling for the week, man. You got a little pep in your step. You like, yeah, say, rubbing your hands together. What can I get into this week? Hey, but let you be dead broke, man. You kind of like, man, you ain't answering nobody phone calls. You ain't texting nobody back. You're a little step slow to count. Sisters, they ain't trying to sew no garments. Hey, you kind of got to see that money first. You trying to sew some garments for the nation. You like, man, ain't about to give me this money. Hey, you take the whole garment and you just throw it in the corner somewhere. Hey, because we lack faith, man. As a nation, individual too. But hey, that's what the Messiah, Yahushua said, man. So let me get into it, because I might have to do a part two on this. I'm yeah, I can start anywhere with this, man. This is crazy. I'm a 1 Peter chapter 2, we're gonna start at verse 11. 1 Peter chapter 2, starting at verse 11. Dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims. So we're gonna rest right there. So here in Babylon, the great so-called United States of America, straight off the rip, Apostle Peter just told you, you are a stranger and you are a pilgrim. Literally, you might not see it right now. You kind of in your house and your comfortability. You got your AC. Got your you get a little chilly. You might put your hoodie on. You might get you a blanket. You might put you some socks on or something like that. You got your thermostat. You can turn your thermostat up and down. You can go get you something to eat. Your preparations for the Sabbath. You can, get in the scriptures without somebody knocking on your door. Hey, you just, you comfortable here in Babylon right now. But surely, 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 long and behold, you will be a pilgrim on the earth, unless you give into the cooning of Babylon the Great, unless you become a sellout, man. Unless you kind of had a spirit of Judas on you, man. Judas Iscariot, man. Kind of sell out for 30 shekels of silver. You're gonna be on the run, or you're gonna be in a FEMA camp. One or the other, or the wilderness, whatever the most high had your lot to be, you know. So therefore, what are you saying, Hosea? Well, look, you can't cleave unto Babylon the Great, man. The freaking off that they're doing, the folly and the madness that they're doing, that's not for you. You here to serve a punishment, captivity, the seventh captivity. This is your captivity. You're not supposed to be freaking off with the nations, with the heathen, the strangers. Going, somebody going, I'm led to believe somebody gonna celebrate 4th of July. Somebody gonna celebrate 4th of July. Somebody with friends, they might tuck their fringes in, and they might be walking around with some red, white, and blue. Somebody gonna be freaking off, man. But you are a stranger and a pilgrim. You supposed to be on the move, man. Let me get this quick precept right quick in 1 Corinthians. This is Shalom, Fisherman Vizayan on the scene, brother. Y'all all, Princess Davia. All praise to the Most High. Peace and blessings. Shabbat Shalom. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 7. I'm gonna start at verse 31. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 31. And they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away. You see that? So all this it's gonna go, man. It's gonna go. World War III on the horizon, famine is on the horizon, pestilence, diseases. If you ain't trying to if you're not trying to, flee from this filthiness and this manner that's going on, you're cleaving to it, man. You're abusing the hell out of this world, man. Babylon the Great. And you got a lot of Israelites doing that, man. They on the low, they kind of ducking and diving, not trying to be seen. They behind the curtains. They in the dark, somewhere freaking off, man. Masturbating, watching pornography. Sleeping with other men, wives. Smoking weed. Rolling up the blunts. I was on a plantation the other day, man, and this, you got to play your role on a plantation. This Edomite man was telling me, he kind of got high after he left work in the parking lot, man. He was talking about I couldn't even make it home. They got some, I don't even know what the hell it is. I never smoked. All praise to the Most High, I never did. But he was telling me they got some stuff, man, that'll get you messed up. He said the stuff's supposed to I forgot what he said it was. He said THC or something like that. I don't know nothing about that stuff. But he said it was something he was smoking on, and it was supposed to get him high in an hour or less. He said, yeah, I got about 20 minutes to make it home. He was like, yeah, man, I didn't even make it out of the parking lot. I said, man, you dummy. I ain't say that, you kind of got to play your role on the plantation. But I was like, man, these folk, man, they just abusing the world. But of course, he's a heathen, Edomites, but you kind of gotta watch yourself, man. You gotta make sure people don't touch you, because they might try to put spirits on you, man. So let's read this again. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 31. And they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away. And all that smoking weed, getting high, man, freaking off, feeling good, and trying to get up to the clouds, cloud nine, whatever they used to say. That's gonna pass away, man. Surely that's gonna pass away. And all these adult flicks Jake be watching, man, that's still gonna pass away too. And you're gonna be consumed if you don't repent, man. You're gonna be consumed. The wages of sin is death, and you gonna be a slave to that sin. It's gonna be hard to come up out that thing, man. So let's go back to this. And let's go back to First Peter chapter 2. I'm gonna start at verse 11. First Peter chapter 2, verse 11. Dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lusts which war against the soul. You see that? Hey, because you literally at a war, against your flesh every day, day by day by day. It don't even matter if you work 18 hours, you know. It don't even matter if you up for 18 hours and you kind of sleep, the rest of the 6, 5, 4. You just up and at it. You at war. Even when you sleep, you at war, against the flesh, man. Because the flesh wants to consume your spirit, everything. Hey, this why the Lord said this. This is First Thessalonians chapter 5. First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 19. Quench not the spirit. You see that? And your flesh is warring against your spirit. You go on a fast. As soon as you come off that fast, these demons trying to hop back on you, man. You might have did a 1-day fast. Yeah, that might not work. You might do a 2-day fast. That might not work. You might do a 3-day fast. That might kind of got 3 demons out of them. You might got to do another 3-day fast. Hey, you got to get 3 more demons out of there. Especially if you into heavy spiritual wickedness, man. You got women doing tarot card readings. That's another form of lust. You got men that listen to very toxic music. That's another form of lust. Because anything that you consume too much of, it's you putting that before the Most High. Didn't the Most High say, seek ye first the kingdom? Hey, so your spirit all jacked up, what they call vibrations all jacked up. You dwelling with this and you trying to do this, you trying to do this and you dwelling with this. Hey, it's all lust and filthiness and madness, even concupiscence, man. You know. So let me get I'm gonna get another one right quick. This is First Peter chapter 4. I'm gonna start at the top. For as much then as Hamashiach has suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind. For he that has suffered in the flesh hath ceased from sin. Hey, a lot of people don't want to suffer, man. They want to give in to that. They just burning. They're just like, gotta have it. Hold on now. Why you giving in so easy? Well, hey, mainly because you ain't got no faith, man. You ain't really rooted in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. You don't really believe, and that's another thing, man. That's some people don't even realize that they willfully sinning, man. Why you ain't bring the scriptures out? Why you ain't get the sword? Why you ain't calling the name Yahweh Bashim Yahushua? Why you ain't throw them prayers before you gave in to that? Surely you may be willfully sinning, not even knowing it. This is Hebrews chapter 10. I'm gonna start at verse 26. For if we sin willfully after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sins. You see that? And Yahweh Shah, the Messiah, is your sacrifice. So you ain't even went to him, because hey, he gave himself up for you, but you didn't call on his name. Hey, you were supposed to call on the name of the Lord, man, when you was in trouble. Let me get that right quick. This is Psalms, I believe that's Psalms chapter 50. Yeah, you gotta call on the Yahweh by Shem Shah. Let me see. What is it? Let me see. Let me see. Psalm chapter 50. Calling on the Lord. Silaki, hold on. Calling on the Lord in trouble. Silaki, this is Psalm chapter 50. Where is it at? Where is it at? Con. This is Psalm chapter 50, and I'm gonna start at verse 15. And call upon me in the day of trouble. I would deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify me. You see that? Hey, but you're not calling on the Lord when you get tempted, man. And really, like I said, a lot of y'all might have missed it. But temptation, that's a Greek word, and the Strong's for that is G3986. It's paras parazamas. That the meaning of that is trial proven. So like if I pronounced it wrong, that's a kind of a tricky word, but that's Strong's G3986 for those who be getting into the etymology and the understanding and the Strong's of word. That literally means trial and proven. So even when you get trial, even when you get thrown in the trial, when the Most High proving you, because everybody gonna get tried. Everybody. So if you say you ain't never been tried, you lying. You know, kind of brother put up another precept. I'm gonna read this one more time. This is Psalms 50, and I'm gonna start at verse 15. And call upon me in the day of trouble, I will deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify me. You see that? Hey, so before you start masturbating, man, before you scroll and go on that porno video, man, you gotta call upon the Most High, man. You know, before you roll up that blunt, and get the huffing and puffing, you gotta call upon the name of Yahweh Shem Shah. You know, before you do something stupid that you might jeopardize your whole marriage, you gotta call upon the name of Yahweh Shem Shah. Before you say something that may put you in the hole, jam you up, you got to call upon the name of Yahweh Shem Shah. And you got a lot of brothers and sisters in these last days that got anger management as well. That's not a evil concupiscence, but that could be a temptation. You got brothers that hot heads, wanna always fight, argue, and start something. Might got a drinking spirit on them, alcohol demon on them. That's another temptation that brothers and sisters deal with it as well. You always gotta have that bottle on your lip. You always gotta taste that alcohol on your lip. Hey, a lot of brothers don't talk about that. A lot of brothers and sisters don't talk about that. Nor do they talk about that masturbating demon and that pornography demon as well. All of these, you have literally wars 7 days of the week, man. It's literally warring against the spirit, trying to put you in the 2/3 reservation, man, trying to hold you back from your 12 gates. Literally one of them that you can walk through. I'll be damned if pornography gonna keep me from the kingdom. I'll be damned if me getting in a fight with somebody, my brothers and sisters gonna keep me from the kingdom, man. I'll be damned if talking back, talking so like a gossiping gonna keep me from the kingdom. A lot of people's, that's a temptation for a lot of people as well, man. So like let me get this quick precept that the brother pulled. Psalm 55 and verse 22. Psalm chapter 55, starting at verse 22. Cast thy burden upon Yahweh, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer thee, the righteous, to be moved. Hey, that's good, man. That's a good precept right there, man. All praise to the Most High for the brother. That's a beautiful precept, man. You got to cast your burdens as well, man. You so busy trying to figure out how you gonna make it through the week with $20. Hey, you literally putting a stumbling block before yourself. Here you are on the Sabbath. And you're not even supposed to speak your own words on the Sabbath, man. Roughly paraphrasing as the scriptures say, man. You're not even supposed to speak your own words pertaining Isaiah 50, the 58th chapter in the 13th verse. Not supposed to speak your own words. You're not supposed to, do your own pleasures. And that's a lot of brothers and sisters do that as well, man. Hey, but surely you here you are on the Sabbath and you got a bill due, and you in the red, and you literally on the Sabbath trying to figure out how you gonna get that bill paid. Hey, you gotta cast that burden upon Yahweh Shem Shah, man, because he cares for you, But you gotta stop trying to force your hand. Don't force the course of the river, man. Hey, just serve the Most High, serve your brothers and sisters, hey, and keep it moving. Straight, simple as that, you know. So let me go back to this right quick. This is First Peter chapter 4, and I'm gonna start at verse. I'm gonna start at verse 1 again. First Peter chapter 4, starting at verse 1. For as much then as Hamashiach has suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind. For he that had suffered in the flesh had ceased from sin. And you know, the Most High, he's the only one, Yahweh Shah to be exact, is the only one that that didn't go off, man. You know, conquered death, man. You know, came back. So hey, we gotta do, strive like him, Let me get another precept right quick on that. This is Romans chapter 6. And I'm gonna start at verse 7. Romans chapter 6. So I'm gonna start at verse 6. Romans chapter 6, verse 6. Knowing this, that our old man is crucified with him, that the body of sin might be destroyed, that henceforth we should not serve sin. You see that? So when Yahweh Shah was put on the cross, everything, all that, that old man, that's on the cross with him. Especially when you come to the knowledge and the wisdom and understanding of Yahweh Shah. So let me get this quick precept right quick, because we understand we got brothers and sisters that's new to this thing as well. So let me get this quick precept right quick. This is Acts chapter 17 and verse 30. And the times of this ignorance Most High winked at, but now commanded all men everywhere to repent. You see that? So when you didn't know, when you didn't understand, when you didn't know any better, the Most High kind of winked at your sins, man. But surely as you get this understanding, this wisdom, and this knowledge, especially of these laws and commandments that you wasn't knowledgeable in, you got to repent now. When you understand that masturbating, that's wicked. You're not supposed to spill your seed. Going back to Genesis, you're not supposed to lay down with another man's wife. Smoking weed is witchcraft. That's idolatry as well. What else? Trying to fight your brother, that's that's off as well. That's wicked. What else? Being a drunk, turning up all the time, turning the bottle up all the time, getting tossed to and fro, not being sober, you know. All that stuff, you gotta let that go, man. Once you understand that's wicked, that's off, watching pornography, all that, man. You gotta repent. You gotta leave that, you gotta throw that away, man. You gotta turn away from that and you gotta let that go. You gotta put on that new man, that new creature that the Most High uh gave his son Yahweh Shah up for, that Yahweh gave his son Yahweh Shah up for, so you can repent and come back to him through his son Yahweh Shah. you know so that's it on that Acts 17 and 30. So let's go back to finish this off in Romans. This is Romans chapter 6, starting at verse 6. Knowing this, that our old man is crucified with him, that the body of sin might be destroyed, that henceforth we should not serve sin. Verse 7, get to the point. For he that is dead is freed from sin. You see that? So, you got to be dead to sin, man. It's kind of like I don't even see pornography anymore. I don't even see masturbation no more. It's kind of like you a child. You ain't know nothing about that when you was a child. You never known that. You never known it. You never knew it exists. It wasn't there. It's like you got a box in between your mind. You can't look out that box, man. So let's get another precept on that. This is Galatians chapter 2, and I'm gonna start at verse 20. I am crucified with Hamashiach, Christ. Nevertheless, I live, yet not I, but Hamashiach lived in me. You see that? Hey, and that's when you come, that's when you become a new creature, man. It's all about this temple. His spirit is dwelling in you. Of course, we know that the flesh don't profit nothing. But hey, we understand that Yahweh Shah is using us, you know. And so you don't want he's not gonna be around any folly and any madness, man. You always hanging around your brothers that's always smoking weed, turning up. Hey, the most high ain't dealing with that, or you trying to go to the strip club, or you trying to, turn up all the time. You talking to that woman, you talking to the your brother's wife, and the most high ain't dealing with that, man. He ain't dwelling in that. That's uncleanness, man. That's filth. You know, Reading this again, Galatians chapter 2, verse 20. I am crucified with Hamashiach. Nevertheless, I live, yet not I, but Hamashiach lived in me. And the life which I now live in the flesh, I live by the faith of the Son of Most High, who loved me and gave himself for me. You see that? So now in the flesh that I have, I live by the faith, man. Even if I get tempted, man, which the devil is a tempter, man. Spiritual demon Satan, Hey, even if I get tempted, man, hey, I have faith, man. I know the Most High can deliver me. Psalms 50:15. Call upon the Most High when you're in trouble. Psalms 55:22. Cast all your burdens upon him. Hey, that's not saying you ain't gonna get the urge. That's not saying that. You gotta fight just like the Most High, Yahweh Shah fought. Hey, that's exactly what you gotta do. Let me get another precept from here. This is I'm gonna go back to 1 Peter chapter 2, and I'm gonna start at verse. 1 Peter chapter 2, and I'm gonna start at verse 21. 1 Peter chapter 2, starting at verse 21. For even hereunto were ye called, because Hamashiach also suffer for us, leaving us an example, so like it, that ye should follow his steps. You see that? You should follow his steps, man. Hey, when he went to the mountain when he was fasting in Matthew the 4th chapter, hey, every time he got tempted, by the spiritual demon Satan, hey, he was cutting them up with the word, man. Left and right, everything he was saying, he was quoting. Hey, turn his rock into bread. Hey, he was quoting Deuteronomy. He was quoting that thing, man. You gotta bring this word out, man. You gotta call upon the Most High. Let me see. From there, I'm gonna go to 1 John right quick. Matter of fact, I'm gonna bring that out. I'm gonna bring that out. Matthew chapter 4. This is Matthew chapter 4. I'm gonna start at the top. Matthew chapter 4 from the top. Then was Yahweh Shah, who the word English calls Jesus. Then was Jesus led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. See that? Hey, that's the ultimate tempter right there. Verse 2, and when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward and hungry. And when the tempter, see that? The tempter, and when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of Most High, command that these stones be made bread. You see that? Hey, how you gonna tempt Yahweh Shah, man? The Holy One of Israel, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the Alpha, the Omega, the first and the last, the beginning and the ending, the superior one, the Holy One of Israel, man. How you gonna tempt this man? The word, he is the word. Surely, hey, he cut him up with the word. Hey, let's see what he said. Verse 4, Matthew chapter 4, verse 4. But he answered and said, it is written, hey, and Salaki, before we go on, hey, Yahweh Shah temptation isn't the same as your temptation. You probably like, hold on now. You can't tempt me with no bread. Hey, but that's not your temptation. Your temptation, might be a brother, he might have a strong temptation for losing his job, man. He's solely relying on that money coming in every week. Hey, let that brother lose that job. And everywhere he go to apply, everybody turn him down. That might be his temptation. Or a woman, she might have had a a weed demon, man. She kind of go to the store. She get out the car. She pull up somebody beside her. She smell weed. They kind of look out. They talking to her. Hey, shorty, what's up? What's your name, girl? Hey, you trying to get in and smoke with me? Hey, I give you a whole bag. Hey, she might get tempted, man. She might say, some free weed, boy. Weed high nowadays, gas high. Hey, she might be on her last nerve for the week. She might say, well, my husband not around. My sister, my mom not around. This ain't gonna hurt. 5 minutes. Hey, that might be her temptation, man. Everybody temptation ain't Yahweh Shah temptation, man. Hey, so stop saying this, spiritual demon Satan can't tempt you. Hey, if you think you can't get tempted, you, I don't know what to tell you, man. Everybody temptation is different. A brother might, he might be on bad terms with his wife in his marriage, man. Might be on a plantation, and the top woman in the plantation come up to him and say, man, I can't get right this week, all hell breaking loose, and talking about you want to go to the bar at the work. Next thing you know, they at the bar, both of them tipsy, talking about, my house down the road, Next thing you know, he like, man, it's the top woman in the job. I can't turn this down. Next thing you know, they're freaking off, man. Everybody temptation is different, man. And you at war every week with temptation, whether you high and mighty in the spirit or whether you poor in the spirit, man. And surely the Messiah, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, said, blessed are those who are poor in the spirit, according to the, Matthew the 5th chapter, man. The Beatitudes, man. Blessed are those who are poor in the spirit, But reading on, Matthew chapter 4, verse 4. But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of Most High. Hey, cut them up, man. Cut them left and right, So, let's see what happened, man. Verse 5. Then the devil taking him up into the holy city and set him on the pinnacle of the temple. So now, you had a lot of people saying, with folly doctrines, man, and you got to stop the madness, man, to stop this folly doctrines. This is he got teleported, man. He didn't have no drone, man. He got teleported, man. You got people coming up with all type of false doctrines in these last days. Some things is parabolic, some things is symbolic, some things is literal, some things is not literal, man. So reading on, verse 5. Then the devil taking him up into the holy city and set him on the pinnacle of the temple and said unto him, if thou be the Son of Most High, cast thyself down, for it is written, he shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone. Hey, you see that? So, the tempter, he threw a precept out there. I believe that's Psalms 91, Psalms 90, Psalms 91. So he threw a precept out there. The tempter know the word too now. Satan know the word too. So let's see what Yahweh Shah said. You gotta bring these scriptures out, man. You gotta bring these precepts out when you get tempted, and that's something Jake and Eve, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans don't do when they get tempted, man. You gotta pray, you gotta read, you gotta cut them spirits up with the word, man. So let's see what Yahweh Shah said. Verse 7. Yahweh Shah said unto him, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. So he cut him up with Deuteronomy, man. You know, he went straight to the law. Hey, you got to get to the law, man. You got to cut these spirits up, man. You know. So let's go back to First John chapter 2 and verse 15. Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna get First John chapter 2 verse 15. And it reads, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. You see that? So all these things that you are putting on the flesh, it feels good to you, man. And you gotta make up in your mind that sometime or another, hey, it really don't matter, man. I'm a suffer. I gotta suffer because what I want, it requires me to suffer. You know, let me get this quick precept right quick. I'm throwing a lot of precepts out there. But hey, gotta get into this thing, man. This is Romans chapter 8, verse 18. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. You see that? So the suffering that you're suffering now, it's not even you don't even you shouldn't even, and you shouldn't want to compare it to the glory that's going to be revealed, because the glory that is going to be revealed if you endure until the end, you know, you won't even be able to fathom it, man. You won't even be able to grasp it. That's why you can't see it right now, because it's just too much for you to take in, for you to see, for you to dwell with, for you to meditate on. If the Most High literally showed you all of the glory that He's going to reveal, hey, you will bug yourself out. Literally, you'll bug yourself to death. Literally, you will go off. It's just too much glorifying. No more death. No more seeing your brothers and sisters bugged out. No more sorrows, no more pain, no more afflictions, no more curses. It's just too much. Let's not even think about it. It's good to dwell on it and to meditate on it, but hey, that's just how much it is. Hey, $1 billion wouldn't even make up for you. Hey, all the money that's made with the slave notes, the slave master faces on it, all that wouldn't even make up for it. You literally talking about the entire earth is yours. Everything, gold, riches, slaves, everything is yours. Hey, but how can you get that if you can't even suffer? Hey, all these rich people, man, they started from the bottom. They started from somewhere. Hey, before so-called America was built, hey, they had to steal your forefathers, your foremothers, in order to get this stuff built up. Your forefathers and your foremothers had to build this place up. They didn't just come over here and just America. They didn't do that. They had to start from somewhere, man. Bill Gates, he had to start from somewhere. The Illuminati, the Illuministic ones, Rothschilds, Rockefellers, they had to start from somewhere, man. Hey, but literally, your glory is going to be built for you through your oppressor, man. And you can't suffer. You can't put that phone down and say, man, I can't watch no more pornography, man. I can't, I got too much on the line. You can't be faithful in your marriage for all this glory the Most High want to give to you. You can't put the blunt, the weed down, all this glory that the Most High trying to give to you. You can't stop, fighting your brother or your sister for all this glory the Most High trying to give to you. You literally gonna turn all that down, to masturbate, to spill your seed, to freak off. When literally you got an option to get you a wife or a husband, man. And Paul said it's better to marry than to burn. You rather to drink yourself to death and and say I don't want the kingdom. How foolish? How foolish can you be? You know, that's literally foolish. You literally gonna have streets paved with beryl, with sapphire. You know, you literally gonna have slaves. You literally gonna with the snap of your fingers get what you want, man. You know, you could be ruler over 10 cities, man. But you want pornography instead of ruler over 10 cities? You want weed instead of seeing your sisters with royal hair, with royal apparel, loving and thriving in the under the government of Yahweh Shah? You know, and you rather get the freaking off in this society instead of getting all that. Like who like come on now, that's just stupid, man. Like who like come on now. Let's read this again. Romans chapter 8, verse 18. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. Hey, you know, you never had a Rolls Royce. Hey, but it's something better than that coming. You never had a mansion that was worth $10 million. That's something better than that for you. You never had a $10,000 steak that some of these top celebrities are eating right now. There's something better than that coming. Hey, you never went a day of your life not having to worry about nothing. Unless you was a newborn babe, you know. Hey, but there's something better than that coming. But you gotta suffer just a little bit, man. Just a little bit. That's it. Temporary. This stuff is temporary, you know. So let's keep it rolling, you know. So I'm gonna get a quick preset right quick. This is let me see what I want. This is Romans chapter 12, and I'm gonna start at verse 2. Yeah, man, this stuff is temporary, you know. Hey, this ain't gonna last. Romans chapter 12, and I'm gonna start at verse 2. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start at the top. Romans chapter 12 and verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Most High, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, which means set apart, kadesh, in the Paleo Hebrew, acceptable unto Most High. You gotta be acceptable unto the Most High. You know, not everything is acceptable to the Most High. You know, thinking you can hide your sins and get away with your sins, that's not acceptable, man. You know, thinking you can kind of just peek a little bit, you know, and then I didn't do nothing, I didn't touch myself. That's not acceptable to the Most High. Thinking you can just kind of just put the blunt up to your nose and, I ain't gonna do it, I just want to smell it. That's not acceptable to the Most High. Thinking you can kind of just, you know, say shalom to another brother's wife and then really not do nothing. That's not acceptable to the Most High. Don't play yourself. Don't deceive yourself. You know, don't deceive yourself now. That's not acceptable to the Most High. That you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service by default as an Israelite. So-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, it's your reasonable service to present your body a living sacrifice. That's it, you know, by default. You know, reading on verse 2. And be not conformed, which means don't follow, you know, don't abide by. That's what conform means. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Most High. You see that? You know, you got to renew your mind daily. You know, if you stop watching porn today, or if yesterday was your last day watching pornography or masturbating, or, you know, being a drunkard or being a murmur or tailbearing, hey, today you gonna remember that you was what you did yesterday. These thoughts ain't just gonna leave, man. It ain't like you can just take an eraser and just say, just erase everything that was in your mind, you gonna remember some of these stuff. You gonna remember some of your sex partners. You gonna remember them days you got high. You gonna remember certain things, man. But you gotta renew your mind daily with this word, man, with prayer, with fasting, with cleaving until Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You know. So, it's like verse 2, read this again. Romans chapter 12, starting at verse 2. And be not conformed to this world, but be you transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good, and you got to prove to yourself. You got to fight. You gonna have the urge. You gonna say, man, I just want to do this. I want to freak off one time. But you got to prove to yourself by your works, by fasting, by praying, by cutting these spirits up, getting into the word, man, bringing these words out, calling upon Yahweh Shem Yahushua when you get tempted. And even in Jacob's trouble, man, you're gonna have to call upon Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Whether you're in a FEMA camp, whether you before the guillotine, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to call on Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and you gotta continue to keep it moving, man. An acceptable and perfect will of Most High, So from there, let me go to James chapter 4 right quick. It's the book of James chapter 4, and I'm gonna start at verse 4. James chapter 4, starting at verse 4. Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with Most High? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of the Most High. You see that? Hey, so if you going to the club, you're partying, you freaking off. Hey, the Most High ain't pleased with that. You an enemy to the Most High. You communicating and freaking off with another man's wife. You an enemy to the Most High. You rolling up them blunts, them rellos, them backwoods, and smoking your brain cells out, man. You an enemy to the Most High, man. Hey, the Most High ain't dealing with that. Hey, a matter of fact, I done skipped over a precept right quick. Let me get this right quick. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 16. Man. Matter of fact, this whole chapter crazy. Matter of fact, that's the spirit. I kind of wanted to get this, but I didn't have this written down. This 1 Corinthians chapter 3, and I'm gonna start at verse 13. Every man's work shall be made manifest, for the day shall declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire, and the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is. Hey, so everything you did, everything you willfully doing, everything you suffering, you holding yourself back, you striving, you enduring. Hey, all that is gonna be revealed, man. Let's keep reading on. Verse 14. If any man's work abide, which he had built thereupon, he shall receive a reward. Your reward is going to be made manifested before you, in righteousness, and even in wickedness, you still can get a reward, which is damnation. But let's keep reading on. Verse 15. If any man's work shall be burned, he shall suffer loss, but he himself shall be saved, yet so as by fire. Verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of Most High, and that the Spirit of Most High dwelleth in you? Hey, so your temple, literally by default, your temple was set up to be sacrificed, so the Most High can dwell in it. Hey, that's why you should strive and ask the Most High to use you, so you can magnify, reverence the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and even the temple, that it was trying to make desolate, in the ancient days, when you read about Matthew the 24th chapter, the 15th verse, they was making desolate, this is the temple now. They're not gonna build a whole new temple, and try to make it after King Solomon's temple, how King Solomon had his temple built. No, man, we're the temple, the Israelites, the saints, you know. So you gotta make sure that thing is pure, holy, you know. Like when you read the book of Maccabees, man, they was putting abomination on the altar, man. You don't want to put no abomination in your temple. You watching pornography, you smoking weed, you committing adultery, you fornicating, you freaking off, eating swine. Hey, that's putting abominations in your temple, man. Hey, the Most High literally is set up to dwell in your temple. And if you doing all this madness, hey, he not dwelling in it. Straight up, straight up. That's just straight up how it is. So let's move on. Kind of got to speed up for the sake of time. I might have to do a part two. Got a long day today. I got to get a little nap so I can go to camp. This is Matthew chapter 26. I'm gonna start at verse 41. This is Matthew chapter 26, starting at verse 41. Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. You see that? So you should be praying that you don't enter into temptation, man. You literally should be praying. That should be your top prayer, because the flesh is indeed weak. You see certain things and you gaze upon certain things, it's easy to commit sin. Easy. It's more easy to commit sin than it is to remain holy and righteous and pure. You're going to go off by default. You can read that in Isaiah 64, man. You're going to go off, but you got to try your best to build yourself up day in and day out, because daily you are at war with temptation, with lust, evil concupiscence, man. So let me get this right quick in Proverbs. Most High willing, I can get a couple more precepts, but surely we're gonna have to do a part two on this. This is Proverbs chapter 14, and I'm gonna start at verse 12. There is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. You see that? So everybody got their own excuses, man. Matter of fact, I had another precept come to mind. Everybody got their own excuses. Hey, but you can't be having no excuses in these last days, because the Most High can literally take your spirit away from you, and you making excuses, man. Let me get this quick precept right quick. This is Sirach chapter 32, and I'm gonna start at verse 17. A sinful man will not be reproved, but findeth an excuse according to his will. Hey, so just a little testimony. When I first came into the truth, man, I had a heavy demon of masturbating and pornography. I want to say I probably was like 3-6 months in the truth. And there wasn't no precept at the moment, because of course I wasn't, I wasn't in the truth long. I was a babe. I'm still a babe, but I didn't know anything. I probably only knew one precept, Deuteronomy 28:68. There at that moment there wasn't no precept that you can come to me. There wasn't no elder or no brother in this truth that could have convinced me that what I was doing was off. And one of the reasons why, because I was literally at my bottom. I'm talking about I was down bad, and I was literally masturbating and watching porn. That kind of, I felt like that kind of pacified my pain, man. Just a little testimony, not trying to make it too long, but my mind wasn't open to the fact yet that this was literally off. Of course I didn't know the precept in Deuteronomy where it said, Obed or Onan, I think his name was Onan, Obed. He spilled the seed. He was commanded to bring seed unto his brother's wife because they didn't have children before he got put to death. Of course, I didn't know that yet, and of course, I didn't know anything about um once you lust after another woman, you take all those spirits in, man. And it's a rat 25th chapter and 21st verse. It tells you don't look upon a woman's beauty, man. Don't gaze upon a woman's beauty, roughly paraphrasing. Hey, so at that moment, I literally had a heavy demon, of masturbating and watching porn, man. But all praise to the Most High. Hey, once I got built up, but I did set mores and standards for myself. I kind of first made a decree and made a covenant that I won't gonna go off on the Sabbath, you know, before Friday night, you know, and so on until the Sabbath was continuing to carry it on. I was like, I won't gonna do that, So I got built up, man. And every time I got tempted, I literally called upon the name of the Most High. You know, of course, I built myself up, but according to Acts 17th chapter in the 31st and the 30th verse, the Most High, winked at a lot of things that I wasn't aware of, but I built myself up, you know but at that moment, I had excuses in my mind. So I had to let all that go. So let's read that again. Sirach 32:17. A sinful man would not be reproved, but findeth an excuse according to his will. And again, at that moment, I didn't have a rib. I won't dealing with nobody. I won't freaking off. I won't going out messing with other women and sleeping around. It was just me, me and my kids, man. So I felt like, because I didn't have anybody, I felt like I can get off, you know what I'm saying? But that's a wicked way to look at it. That's evil. That's wicked. That's madness. And you got a lot of brothers doing that. And you got a lot of sisters doing that too. Finding an excuse for their will, man. You got sisters that they may have sex toys in their drawers, you know, and mainly, these are a lot of women that's in Christianity in the world, and I'm led to believe you got some in the truth too. They feel like they don't need a man because they got these sex toys, and a lot of brothers, they feel like they can continue to hold themselves because they masturbating. They don't have to deal with a woman. That's madness. That's off. You know. So that's why Paul literally had to write certain epistles. Let me see. This is First Corinthians chapter 7, and I'm gonna start at verse First Corinthians chapter 7. I'm gonna start at verse 9. But if they cannot contain, let them marry. You see that? Stop freaking off. Let's read that again. First Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 9. But if they cannot contain, let them marry, for it is better to marry than to burn. You see that? A lot of people gonna be burning, literally burning with these UFOs come by, man. And don't get it twisted. Don't just go out there and lay down with anybody. Hey, prove that, brother. Prove that, sister, man. Figure out what y'all really want, what y'all really about, what y'all really believe in. Because lo and behold, you don't want to lay down with somebody that's talking about your Husha, your Shia, and you talking about your Hawashah, man. Hey, be of the same doctrines, of the same mindset, and on the same level, man. How can two walk together except they be agreed, man? That's why I know Israelite marriages are lasting, man. Because you were burning, man. You were trying to get your rocks off, man. It makes me sick, man. That's one thing that's one thing I take serious, man. Marriage. I don't play about that, man. My life literally before I came into the truth was literally a hellhole, man, because of stuff that I went through, man. But all praise to the Most High, I'm built up now, and I'm able to, you know, um, you know, make sure my current rib is living, in a subjection where she can get the kingdom, man. You know, making sure things are right, set in order, man. Not trying to put all my business out there, but hey, stop playing around out here, man. It's literally better to marry than to burn. Stop thinking you can get by masturbating, man. That's wicked. That is off. You know, you don't want nothing to do with the Most High. You keep living like that. So let's read this again. Sirach chapter 32, verse 17. A sinful man will not be reproved, but findeth an excuse according to his will. And this precept might have to be my last precept, because it's a lot that you can tie into this, man. I literally heard, I want to say this was probably man, this might have had been 2 weeks ago. You literally got people saying marijuana is helping them, man, because it's taking away pain from their body. It's easing their anxiety, their depression. That's madness. That is madness. Let me get this quick precept right quick. That is madness. Let me see if I can find this precept right quick. That is madness, man. I believe this is in Ezekiel. You got people justifying their folliness to freak off, man. You literally gonna get hit with a missile. This is Ezekiel chapter 8. This is Ezekiel chapter 8. I'm starting at verse 17. Then he said unto me, hast thou seen this, O son of man? Is it a light thing to the house of Judah that they commit the abominations which they commit here? For they have filled the land with violence and have returned to provoke me to anger. And lo, they put the branch to their nose. Hey, you see that? They put the branch to the nose, man. Hey, that was freaking off, man. You can say it's your modern day relos, your backwoods, hey, whatever you want to call it, man. No, man, you can't smoke weed in this truth, man. You got a lot of witchcraft that's tied into that, man. So stop the madness, man. You've heard it first. You heard it now. You heard it today on the Sabbath. Stop smoking weed. That's wicked. You're gonna literally get hit with a missile, man. Or you're gonna die and perish in the famine. Or you're gonna get hit with a pestilence or a plague that's gonna eat you alive until you consume. So let me get another precept on there. I might have to get a couple more, and I might have to wind down. This is Romans chapter 6. I'm gonna start at verse 20. Might have to do a part 2 on this. Romans chapter 6 and starting at verse 20. For when ye were the servants of sin, you were free from righteousness. You see that? Hey, you literally ain't had no righteousness around you, because you were a servant to sin. You a slave. You're going to continue to do that. And regardless of how mighty you feel and how easy you think it is to come out of that, hey, you going to be a slave to that, man. Let me get this quick precept right quick in Mark, the 4th chapter. Yeah, it doesn't hear the word. The 4th, I'm starting at verse 19. And the cares of this world and the deceitfulness of riches and the lust of other things enter in, choke the word, and it become unfruitful. You see that? So that's why you got a lot of people, man. They hear, they say, well, hey, what's that, brother? Hey, that's mighty, brother. Hey, I'm with you, brother. Kind of get you a pound, and then they're going back to freaking off, man, because they're a slave to that sin. Literally, slave. Is that it? I got one more verse. Let me go down to this. Verse 21. What fruit had ye then in those things whereof ye are? So like it is Romans chapter 6, verse 21. Romans chapter 6, verse 21. What fruit had ye then in those things whereof ye are now ashamed for the end of those things is death. So now you're ashamed. Now you don't want to come to camp. Now you don't want to continue to walk in His truth. This marathon, this walk of faith, you know, continue to walk on because you're ashamed, man. When I truth, when I was watching pornography and masturbating, I was ashamed around brothers, man. You know, all praise to the Most High. I had to confess my faults, man. I had to get built up, man. I can't even tell you when the last time I done that. Any of that, you know. And it's all about the mercies and grace of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. And I commend you, brothers, that literally deal with that on a day-to-day basis. Call on the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, man. You know, pray, fast. 2 days, 3 days, man. You know, you literally got too much on the line that waste all that away, man. You know. So let me get this one right quick. Let me get a couple more. Most I willing I can. You know, this is St. John chapter 6, and I'm gonna start at verse 63. St. John chapter 6, verse 63. It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profited nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit, and they are life. You see that? It is the spirit that quickeneth, man. You know, you gotta feed the spirit, man. You know, if you the more and more you feed your flesh, the more your flesh gonna be stronger than your spirit. The more and more you feed your spirit, the stronger your spirit gonna get. And you can cut up the flesh, you know, but you gotta pick and choose, man. You can't be making excuses, you know. So let me get this in 1 Corinthians 10th chapter right quick. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, and I'm gonna start at verse 13. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, start at verse 13. There had no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that you are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. You see that? There ain't no temptation you going through that you can't escape, man. You know, you can literally overcome that, man. You're stronger than that. You're mightier than that. But you gotta call on the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. You gotta pray. You gotta fast. You gotta cut that spirit up, man. You know. So let me get one more precept right quick. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 8, and I'm gonna start at verse 11. Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. You see that? Just because you ain't getting judged right then, don't mean the Most High ain't literally putting that off. You know. Let me read that one more time. It's a mighty precept. Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. So let's get another precept on that right quick. Book of Exodus. Exodus chapter 34, Book of Exodus chapter 34, and I'm going to start at verse 6. And Yahweh passed by before him and proclaimed, the Lord God, merciful and gracious, long-suffering and abundant in goodness and truth. So, the Most High is long-suffering, man. You know, he wants you to overcome that. He wants you to come out of that. He wants you to come back to him. He wants you to repent, serve him, reverence him, magnify him, glorify him in spirit and in truth, keeping them laws, statutes, and commandments. You know? So let me get this last quick precept, and then I gotta wind down. But surely, Most High willing, we can do a part 2 on this, because it's a lot of stuff that I wanted to cover, but for the sake of time, I'm not able to. You know, the spirit had me going to a lot of other things. This is Isaiah chapter 26, Starting at verse 3. Thou would keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusted in thee. Hey, so when you at your lowest, man, trust and believe in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and he will deliver you. Call upon him when you are tempted, when you are in trouble. Believe, have faith, and he will deliver you. And with that, that's all for now. Most High willing, with that last precept, I can come back and do a part 2 on this. The daily war of temptation, lust, and evil concupiscence, man. One of the highest, most heavy sins and spirits that Israel deal with, man. Giving all glory and honor to Yahweh by Shema Mashak Yahushua, Brother Jose, Fisherman for Zion, with another video. Most High willing, I can do a part 2. Hey, keep the Sabbath holy, no sex, no cooking, no buying, no selling. Hey, if you can, go out and spread this good news, man, this gospel, and edify and teach the lost sheep, the house of Israel, pertaining to Matthew 15, chapter, the 24th verse. Yahushua literally sent to the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the Israelites. Hey, wherever you at, if you know this word, hey, push it, man, so we can hurry up and get the hell out of here, man, so we can be dwelling and under the government of Yahushua, man, in the wilderness. Most High willing, we make it there and get to the kingdom. And giving all glory and honor to Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, Brother Jose, Fisherman for Zion. Peace and blessings. Shabbat Shalom. Kwam Yashuala. Shalom.